Well, hey there guys, Conceptual Concept 6.9 here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and I picked myself up one of the last Beryls on Arms of America. As far as I know, these are the last imports of these Beryls, and you're gonna have to find everything used moving forward. I know FB Radom did quit manufacturing these, so there are no new ones being made moving forward. So I doubt we'll get a fresh import past this. So I wanted to jump on one of the last 20, give it a run. It's a piece of history. The only AK ever in NATO service, but I'm not gonna go too deep in the weeds there. If you wanna watch something on it, 9-Hole Reviews did an excellent video. I'll put a card up here. But we're gonna shoot it, we're gonna play with it, talk about some initial impressions. I've got about 100 rounds through this so far. I shot the iron sights a little bit, decided I needed to run an optics rail, so I waited for that to come in. But let's go ahead and shoot it. All right, let's do another one. I think I got enough for one more of that drill. If not, I'll have to do a back pocket reload. So let's go ahead, see how we do. Oh. $135. Ooh, gave him a haircut. $143. $117. $137. So the mechanical offset on this thing's definitely something to get used to. It's much, much higher than anything I have. So we've got, I was overcompensating, hitting the top, and then I centered it a little more, but you'll see a lot of vertical stringing. It's me trying to find that happy spot because the bore's down here and the optics up here. So I'm aiming roughly right here. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little gun. Pretty easy to get repeatable hits. And we're out. All right, so we've done some shooting. We're about 240 rounds in. I've done 9 mags so far through this gun. And what are my overall thoughts and impressions from it? So let me start by saying the one shocker to me is this thing is punchy. So compared to both the WBP I've had and the Zostava ZPAP 85 I have, this thing recoils quite a bit more. You've got to have a lot more fundamentals in place to keep the dot from bouncing around too much. So that was a surprise to me. I do like the balance. It's pretty well balanced. It does have a long barrel, but it's not crazy. This optic rail is insanely high. It's one of the few optic rails I might actually do a low mount with, just because how high it sits above the barrel. The mechanical offset's crazy, and the drop on the stock means I don't even get a chin weld. It's just, I'm free floating my head out there, which I don't mind most of the time, but sometimes having a chin weld's nice, you know? Let's talk about the finish. The finish is what surprised me the most, and it is very quick to wear. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'll get some close-ups, but I did zero the iron sights, and my zeroing tool ate away all the finish on this. That's pretty common on the drum, but usually you don't see that on the actual front sight tower like you have here. Another thing is, and hopefully you can see this, but I'm not sure if you can, the paint on the end of the barrel is, and even back here, is starting to not bubble, but it's discoloring in a speckled pattern, and I think that's from heat. So the paint is not great. I would probably compare it to Arsenal's. Arsenal's paint is pretty terrible too. Hopefully this is parkerized under like Arsenal does. If someone knows, put it in the comments down below, okay? but I am seeing some discoloration on the paint. So another place I'm getting a lot of finish wear that I forgot to talk about is the dust cover. It is yeeting that brass far away because it's very overgassed, and it has eaten away on the finish on the dust cover as well. So I don't really care that much, but I just think that the paint on it is kind of subpar overall. Now, if it's parkerized under, I don't care. My Arsenal has the same issue. So not a deal breaker for me. So now let's get into the controls. It does have an enhanced safety that sits a little lower than a standard AK safety because of the way the fire control group in the military version works. The safety has to sit a little lower. So I think it's proprietary, so you can't swap that out, but it is enhanced. So those guys who like that, and I actually like the angle on this. The angle to me is more comfortable than the WBP, but I'm not a huge fan of enhanced safeties. I've been over this time and time again, but I'm so used to blading my hand that the enhanced safeties just feel weird. If I practice with them more, I'm sure I'd like them a lot more than I do. But it is a decent safety. Doesn't get in the way, does what a safety's supposed to do. Now the magazine release is an enlarged one. A lot of you guys will like that. Again, I'm a traditionalist. I've never minded the standard, but it is nice that it's there. Now the one thing I did walk away from really liking is this FIME trigger group. I was surprised. A lot of people talk bad about it. Let's make sure this is unloaded and we're clear. But the FIME trigger group is nice. It's got a little bit of take up, but a defined white wall. So take up wall break. I personally prefer that for shooting for groups and shooting at distance over an ALG, which just has a rolling break, no defined wall. But that's just me. So what are my initial thoughts on this Beryl? I like it. I think it's cool. I definitely want to do some upgrades more to my preference of shooting to make this a little more shootable. I found just for me, I was having a little bit more trouble with this than other rifles. So we'll kind of optimize this for my taste, and then I'll get back to shooting it and revisit. Anyways, guys, don't forget, go outside, touch grass, eat ass, all right?